Hey, my name is Marc Warnke. I'm known as the Goat Guy, and I teach people how to raise goats all over the world. I want to share with you our homestead milking operation because we've turned it into a very profitable venture for us. We have 14 milking does. We produce about 12 gallons to 14 gallons a day with that. And we are selling our goat milk at $20 a gallon to the city of Boise. I live about 22 minutes from downtown Boise, so I have the luxury of being close to a large center, and there's a lot of money in Boise. Now, I will tell you that getting $20 a gallon for goat milk has been a little bit harder, but not terribly hard, because I find that people, when I bring them out here, which I have any new customer that ever wants to get goat milk from us, that I sit down with them and tour them through the ranch. I introduce them to the does, I introduce them to the method and what we're trying to do here at Ripple Ranch and helping to impact humanity in a positive way. I introduce them to my workers who make enough money to be able to survive and thrive. The goats get taken care of well. So I tell them where the going rate in the valley is about 16 bucks to 14 bucks a gallon. I charge 20. And the difference is that my care of the animals, the milk, the people, and the ranch and the land. And people are willing to pay extra for that. I spend a lot of time educating them on the value of goat milk and how they're going to feel the difference in their bodies. I also educate them on the chemistry of it all to be able to let them know what's happening even though they don't feel the difference. And then I work diligently to make my milk taste amazing. The largest concern or the largest negative with goat milk is how it tastes. And your process, which I can teach you on making awesome tasting goat milk, raw goat milk in the fridge that tastes good for 10 days. 10 days. And how do we do that? Super good chilling, super good care of the udder, super good sanitation, super good care in the pasture. We are doing every level. We have not had one case of mastitis this year with milking 14 does, and if you know how that process goes, to have zero mastitis is huge. Our does are doing super well. They're healthy, they're good. We try to have our ranch be not only look good, but look clean. The does look well because we're trying to quote unquote sell a premium product. And so we take care of everything. The milking barn is almost always perfect. When I say perfect, I mean for a milking barn. I walk my customers in here. Now, the other thing that I love to do, and I highly recommend that you do this, when I have people come meet the girls, and I try to schedule that time during milking because I want them to see the milking process. And what Raul has done, my ranch manager, and I told him this was possible, and I said, hey, I want you to run the entire milking operation with verbal commands. These guys are wicked smart. They all know their name. I want you to teach them, and I'm going to show you how kind of to teach them. And Raul has all 14 does coming by name to the gate, loading in the stanchion by themselves, going back out and letting themselves back out once off the stand. And the level of like cooperation catches people and kind of scoops them up, and they get invested in the ranch and they get invested in the animals, and I share with them their names and what plants they're eating on my ranch. People want to know that. People want to consume something that's next level, that's thought out about, and you can do that in your milking operation. So imagine if you were only half of what I have, 7 goats. And you were able, I'm producing right now 5,000 a month in goat milk. And I'm having expenses around 1,000 a month, which means that I'm profiting almost 4,000 a month on goat milk. And for a lot of families, that could be a huge difference. And my time frame is the chores with the does, and we milk morning and evening. So we have about 4 hours in time for that money per day. And the other thing that I would encourage you to realize is if you're a homesteader and like me, you still want to own your ranch or your farm, but you don't want it to own you. And one of the quickest ways to free yourself is to generate revenue, because revenue provides the opportunity for a hired man or a hired person, somebody living on the ranch that can help you with chores and the daily thing. The goat milk may be the one that makes that difference. So there's 2 stages. One is freeing up your money. The second is freeing up your time. So I would highly recommend that you look at a goat milking operation in your area, because raw goat milk continues to be a huge push right now in the industry. And we are preparing to build a course to teach you literally every facet of how to grow a goat milking operation for profit on your homestead, wherever you are. And so we really look forward to being helpful with that. And I would encourage you to realize the blessing you are to your community. It is so hard to find good raw goat milk. And if you can get good at it, your customers will be crazy loyal to. Now, one last thing I want to mention is that I train my customers to know that I have an off season. And the reason is I need an off season. So do my does. And so I milk till about December, when it starts getting cold and miserable and sloppy and everything else. And then I dry up my does and I get them ready to have their babies again, and they have a better life. And I explain this to my customers. I could milk this goat year round and get you milk year round, but I'm going to be hard on my staff, I'm going to be hard on the land, and I'm going to be hard on the goats. And I tell the story like this: what most of my customers want me to do is be gentle on the goats, gentle on the land, and gentle on the people, and still have 9 months of goat milk. And that's what we do. Now, the last component that's so critical to our operation is that we're freezing milk. So we're freezing it solid. We get it down to temperature in less than 30 minutes out of the udder. We freeze it solid within 24 hours. That is 1 day fresh goat milk, and goat milk reconstitutes from frozen to fresh beautifully. And so I train all my customers. And the reason I do is if I left it in the fridge, I would have a goat milk going rotten on a constant level in the fridge, needing customers to take it. But once I freeze them, I freeze it at 1 day fresh, and it's always there for months. And we go through the cycle regularly. We rotate our freezers. And here's the other thing that we've done, is that we have used key customers to be able to take them and say, hey, you love what we do. Would you be willing for a discount to your goat milk to house a freezer at your location so our customers can come grab it? And now I have 3 locations in Boise, so they don't have to come clear out to the ranch. They can just go grab their goat milk. They pay on Venmo at the freezer, and we use the honor system, and it's been beautiful. We just go fill up freezers. So we have 3 freezers we keep full, 1 here on the ranch and our 2 locations. That is our inventory now. So we simplified all of that, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. The last thing I want to speak to is the fact that every state is different in how it approaches raw milk. Raw goat milk is extremely safe, and it's easy to do the testing. And in most states, in the states that allow raw goat milk to be sold, they have a certification process and rules. Here in Idaho, our certification process is we get a blood test once a year on our does, and then we're certified, and then we have to have certain specifications on our label and how we distribute, and there's requirements in that way. Different states have different rules. More and more states are allowing raw milk now, so that's great news too. So please be conscientious. Now, one of the workarounds for people who live in those states that don't allow raw goat milk to be sold is they're doing cooperatives. So their customers will own a piece of the goat. So you're not selling them milk off of your goat, you're selling them milk off of your goat. And because of the cooperative, it allows you to kind of skate around the edges and be able to operate legally and still sell raw goat milk. But do know this, it is actually illegal, even here in Idaho, one of the most progressive states with raw milk in the US, it is illegal for me to share it with my neighbor without that piece of paper, which honestly, in my opinion, is non-constitutional, and they can take that and put it wherever they want to put it, because I'm not going to abide by that. I'm going to share with my neighbors whatever I want to share. In the same token, just know that's how stringent some of these laws are. So remember, you want to watch your P's and Q's, and you want to make sure that you do it properly. But a raw goat milk dairy operation on your homestead may be the difference between making it over these next couple of years, challenging years that we may have ahead, or you may end up being able to really flourish and get that hired man. I think it's super possible for anybody in the raw goat milk business to make $2,000 a month, and I can teach you how. So I'm Marc Warnke. If you enjoyed this video, remember I teach people how to raise goats on all different capacities. And I have the capability to help you to raise babies, help a goat have a birth, run a milking program, run packers. If you have pets, any of that stuff, all the courses, everything you can find on PackGoats.com. And the biggest value is becoming a Goat Club member. It's 20 bucks a month. You get everything at 10% off on the site. You get all the courses at half off, and you can call me personally when you're in a jam and I'll advise you. There's a 911 number. What is that worth to you? That is huge to have somebody help you through a jam when you have it. So I hope you find all that helpful. Marc Warnke, the Goat Guy, signing out.